Hello beautiful souls and hello beautiful empaths. Welcome again to my page and also welcome to my channel. Please, if it's your first time logging in, this is your first time and this kind of content resonates with you, please take a moment to like and share, subscribe. And for the ones who are with me, been with me all along, thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being part of the family. And thank you for being part of the Empath Exodus, where I'm trying to do everything in my power to shed enlightenment on narcissistic abuse, and in that way also breaking empaths free. So in today's subject, I'm going to talk about narcissists and dating sites. So you have to remind yourself always that there's nothing you can ever do to a narcissist that is going to actually whether physically or mentally, satisfy them. You will never be able to satisfy a narcissist. It does not matter how much money you give them, they'll always ask for more. How much sex you give them, they'll always crave for more. Whether it is a physical, whether it's something physical, whether it's something emotional, whether it's, I don't know, it doesn't matter, financial. You will never be able to satisfy a narcissist desires. So they're always craving for more. And it is for this reason that I came up with this subject, because you see, most of the times, for the most people who have been involved, who have gotten involved in narcissistic abusive relationships, there is many of these people who have met these people actually online. Yeah, because the narcissist doesn't have time for the narcissist. They don't want. They cannot, first of all, heal, and then they don't even if they can heal, they don't want to heal. They don't have the capacity to heal, to carry on. For example, they have just been dumped off somewhere, they've been discarded, or whether they have been discarded, or this them have discarded someone. They don't have the ability to go off somewhere, sit down somewhere under a tree and chill off and reflect on the things that have gone on in the relationships. So they don't have the ability to do that the way you do, because when when it's you and you've just broken up, you want to sit back and start reflecting, and sit back alone, get that quiet time to reflect on what went wrong in those relationships, what could you have done better, and see if you can heal the wounds that you've got from that relationship, and then see which is the way forward. So maybe you can do that, but for a narcissist it's very difficult. They can't do that, and it's for that reason that most of the time they tend to straight away go and log into those dating sites and those dating apps, and they have to make sure that they get a new source of supply, because they're like scrambling. They're scrambling for supply. So the most common way that a narcissist will use to get the supply they're looking for is usually on the dating sites. And it is much more easy on the dating site, because you see on the dating sites there's all sorts of different kind of people, individuals, different it's like shopping. It's like shopping for supply. So they can very easily and very quickly shop for supply on the dating sites, and it's much more convenient for them actually, just to get their phone or to get their computer, sit down there and start looking for maybe some new guys or some new women or something like that. So they are very, very quick to jump into the dating sites. So it is very, very important for you. It does not mean that everybody who is on the dating site is a narcissist. That's not what I'm trying to say here. So there are people who are genuine, definitely. There are people who are genuine, who are authentic, and they want to go out there, try to look for love and try to start all over again. But then at the end of the day, you've realized that most of the people who have finally ended up with narcissists, they have one way or the other met those people on the dating sites. You know, those sites, they just went there thinking that they can get love, and at the end of the day, they just ended up meeting narcissists, which people actually ended up making their life a living hell. You know what I mean? So if you've been discarded, please remember, I've always told you in my videos, take your time, and do not rush. Always try to focus, concentrate on recovery, because recovery is very vital, because it's then after recovery that you're going to be able to see and calculate your next moves. What are you going to do next? You know what I mean? Are you ready to date again? Are you ready to move into a relationship? Can you trust? Do you trust yourself well enough to go into a new relationship? So, and even then you feel that you're ready, I don't think I wouldn't really advise or recommend you to jump into the dating sites and try to start all over again, because I can assure you, for the most of the time, people on the those people who are dating on the online dating sites, most of those people, they have got some other unhealed issues attached to them, and most of them actually you can end up dating a narcissist, because there are so many of them, so many, you cannot unimaginable, uncountable on those sites. So many of them, you will just go out there and meet someone on the site. They'll assure you they are single. They'll assure you they're not in any sort of a relationship. So they will entice you to fall in love with them, do whatever they want to do with you. And then before you know it, after a couple of weeks, you're going to find out that somewhere they're dating somebody else, and they have got a secret relationship that you actually don't know about. So if you're somebody who is like in need of love, if you've done your healing, first of all, you need to ensure that you've done your healing. And then the second thing you might don't want to do is jump into dating sites. And even then, if you decide, if you have, because everybody's different, you find some people who are busy and they don't have time to, maybe go out to the clubs, or maybe go to the pubs, or maybe go to the city, or I don't know, whatever, it depends. So some people don't have the time, and they think or they believe that it's only by quicker or even more convenient for them, because of maybe time issues, or maybe, I don't know, whatever, private or personal issues. It may be more convenient for them to find love on the dating sites. But I think in my own experience, and what I can assure you, is that the last thing you want to do, and even if you want to do it, yes, even if that's the only option you have got to take maximum precaution, and always double check, because if you've been hurt before, if you've been broken down by a narcissist before, you already know how to read the flags. You can already see what's in the, you can already read the content of the envelope, so you can read the envelope from the outside. Nobody needs to come and educate you about narcissism, because you've seen it firsthand in front of you, in front of your face, and you already know what these individuals look like, how they behave. You know the red flags. You can read and point out all the red flags, and even then you decide to eventually go and date, look for love on the online dating sites. Then I think you might want to, first of all, take it easy, and even then, if you have to do it, you might want to double check those individuals who will probably try to offer you their cup of love to you, and to try to make you go into a relationship with them. So you might want to double check things, check twice, check thrice, check for the red flags, check the signs, and then be very confident that yes, if you've met someone on there, they're the right fit. Because like I've said, it's not everybody who is on the dating site that they're narcissists. You know what I mean? So there are some of them who are there and they're genuine people, but then at the end of the day, it's very difficult to put a finger on who is who. You know what I mean? There's millions, thousands, millions of people on the dating sites, and you can just never know who is genuine, who is not. You know what I mean? But then at the end of the day, if you have been able to figure out, to unmask a narcissist before, so you already know who is a narcissist, you know what to look for, you know the red flags clearly, loud and clear, then in that way you can always use that option, and then double checking those people before you actually think about jumping into relationships. But then this for the people who are actually who have made it a habit to look for love on all those online dating sites. It's a bit risky. I don't say it's 100% risky, but through experience, and the whole reason why I usually tend to come out here and share with you is because I've seen it all. I've been there, and I would like to use my experience to shed enlightenment on what I've been through and what I've seen. So in that way, you can figure out, it may not always be the case with everybody, you know what I mean? But then through sharing, you can be able to pick out one or two things which also can help you along your journey, along your life, you know what I mean? So, dating sites, please, you can always stay away if you can. Try to stay as far as you can from dating sites and try not to make it the only option. If you can, try not to make it the only option you have left for you to look for love, or to look for a partner or relationship. You know what I mean? There can always be other options you can use. And even then, if it's the only option you think is available for you at the moment, then you might want to double check, because some of those people actually on those online sites, it is just a full basket of narcissists. Most of them, I didn't say, like I said, it's not all of them, but most of them is just a whole basket of narcissists out there who have got wives at home, who have got husbands at home. And for them, it's like they're looking for somebody to stroke their ego. And whichever way they can use, anyhow they can use, whichever way they can use to get that extra fuel, they have got to do it. Any way they can, what is available in front of them, they have got to do it. And for them, it's much more easier and very quicker. Because for somebody who has got a relationship at home, somebody, husband, or wife, or whatever at home, it is much more difficult for them to go out physically to look for some sort of supply. So the only thing they can do is just quickly log in those dating sites and get a potential partner. So for them, it's very easy to tell their wives or their husbands at home, you know what, I'm going to see an auntie, or I'm going I'm going somewhere to the village, I'm going somewhere. So it's for them very easy to make an excuse, because narcissists have got that thing what they call the disappearing act. They have got something what they call the disappearing act, whereby you're with somebody 1 minute and the next minute they are gone, or sometimes they are going or leaving you for long periods of time, and sometimes they don't have a clear explanation of where they have actually been. And most of them, sometimes actually they're using that time of the disappearing act. It can be 1 hour or 2 hours. For a narcissist, it doesn't require for them the whole day, like a couple of hours for them to siphon fuel from those potential supplies they have met online. It can just take them like half an hour, even less sometimes. You know what I mean? So sometimes you might be engaged. You might find yourself engaging in a narcissist. Maybe you don't know it. Maybe you're not educated on narcissism. You don't know about who is a narcissist, who is not. So probably you're not yet educated, and that is why sometimes you fall for these kind of games. But sometimes, most of the cases, those so-called potential partners who will call you for a quick coffee somewhere, you just wrote to them yesterday, and they're telling you that you guys need to go and meet on a coffee, or to go, maybe they want to invite you somewhere to their place or something like that. Let's go to the park, or let's go to have a walk on the beach. So those kind of things, they are very usual by narcissists, because sometimes they are going to use excuses so that they can actually get themselves out of their homes, because most of the time they have partners already at home. So they are getting themselves out of the home, meeting people online, and running very quickly, meeting those people for a couple of hours, siphon whatever supply they want from them, and then getting back to their partner. So most of the time, it's a very dangerous situation. Dating sites, I wouldn't really recommend dating sites if you're that kind of person who is looking for love. If you're looking for a deep committed love relationship, I would actually advise you to double check dating sites, online sites, those kind of sites whereby somebody will just call you, for quick sex, or somebody will just call. Before you know it, actually, you've been trauma bonded. Because if that kind of situation happens, if it keeps on happening, somebody calls you, and then for some reason they cannot show you where they live, for some reason they cannot disclose to you their private life. They happen to be meeting you in a hotel or a motel somewhere every other week. Before you know it, you're going to be trauma bonded. Because a narcissist mission is to get a source of supply outside of the relationship, and then do whatever they can do to entangle them. They do some sort of entanglement whereby actually secretly they are trauma bonding you. They are tying themselves to you. And before you know it, you cannot get rid of them, and before you know it, actually before you know it, you've gotten yourself into a very, very deep narcissistic abusive relationship. So people, please take your time. Do not rush. If you've been discarded, I always say it in my videos, take your time to recover, take your time to heal. Do not rush, do not panic. It's painful and there are always consequences, but take the proper steps, and once you finally think or you feel that you've healed and you're ready to date, I think the last place you might want to check is the dating site, because there are so many of them, hungry narcissists on all those online sites looking for potential victims and potential sources of supply. So you might want to double check that. I would recommend love to follow you or to come to you naturally and gradually. Love should be able to come to you organically without you even having to bruise online dating site, because it's very, very, very simple, very, very, very likely and very possible you're going to meet another narcissist on those sites. So people, it's been a pleasure talking with you and having you guys on board. Please, if you haven't done so, always like, share and subscribe. And until then, I'll see you in my next video. A blessing and love to you all. Bye.